Good morning. We're going to go on a nice sunny morning bike ride. I'm going to lower my gear. So today I wanted to talk about indecisiveness being your enemy. So for example, you can see that I am wearing an Aloha shirt and a hoodie. Definitely not what one might call business casual or anything of the sort. And definitely not what anybody would call regular fitness attire. So this, in my case, does not act to my advantage, at least as far as fitness attire is concerned. And so thus, I'm not even going to try to justify my actions, but I am going to try to figure out what time it is. There we go. So now I have something to tell me what time it is so I don't run over on my vlog or on my exercise. And anyway, indecisiveness is definitely my enemy today. I have my car insurance is coming up, and I have to get a quote from another insurance company to make sure I'm getting the best rate, because our insurance rates went up on our vehicles this year. And this year we have an RV. So I have that going on, and my lack of go for it-itude is probably getting in my way. I would like to think that I'm going to get everything done. I like to be one of those people that thinks that I work best under pressure, but I don't always work best under pressure. And so I got a really big video project done yesterday, which I was supposed to be working on really more than a month and a half ago. I was supposed to be working on it, and but then, you know, the body calls. My appendix ruptured. I ended up in the hospital, and then coming out of the hospital, it's just taking so long to heal. And I'd love to think that, you know, that's all just happening in due time and all that. But there's a part of it. I am really at the bottom of the frame, aren't I? I don't really like this ball joint that I'm using here. It's really not, it's not what I would call heavy duty. And I'm going to probably slide out of the frame again here in just a little bit. And I'm just using a flip camera, so I really shouldn't be having this problem. It's not like I'm putting a lot of weight on it or anything, but the thing just moves of its own accord. I understand I'm putting it on a bike. It's moving. Again, indecisiveness is my enemy, because I would like to buy a better ball head for my monopods, my tripods, and these kind of little gadget arms and stuff. But then there's also the part of me that wants to be frugal. So I end up spending a bunch of money buying these little ball heads and gadgets and things. And I'll buy 3 or 4 of them for the price that it would cost me to buy one. And none of the 3 or 4 of them meet my needs. And the one that would have costed 3 times as much would actually work. So, lesson learned. I need to buy a heavy-duty ball head, and I need to be decisive about it. It took me a long time to get that video done, and part of that was just, deciding to sit down and do it, to be honest. Fortunately, our church has been in a study of Deuteronomy, and Deuteronomy is it's got a lot of chapters, it's got a lot of material in it. So it's a long study. So several weeks I had, there's still several weeks left before, Deuteronomy would be over in our study. And I think part of me sort of subconsciously said, you've got plenty of time, dude. Don't worry about it. I guess it helps to lift up your kickstand when you're riding your bike, doesn't it? I've got one of those rear kickstands on my bike. Not like one of the ones that goes underneath your pedals. I probably am severely backlit. Can you even see me? The sun is shining bright today. Anyway, I have to get my insurance quote. I finished up that video, and I'd like to polish it up a little better. And at the same time, we have a lot of new debt that we just incurred because of getting a new roof, getting new siding on the house, all of which desperately needed to be done. And then suddenly, right after that, I end up in the hospital. Some massive amount of medical bills. And, I'm not really nervous. I trust the Lord that He's going to provide all our needs. And, but this is going to be a stretch. I mean, this is going to be, I won't say that it's not going to make us squirm, but I have this comfort, this peace with it all that doesn't make any sense, but there it is. So in that sense, I guess I'm decisive in having faith. I guess there's ways that doesn't necessarily manifest in my life, but in this particular case, I have peace. So back to being indecisive, like having a topic to talk about each time I get on this bike. I find that it probably wouldn't be too hard to just get on the bike and just go. But, I get bored. And I like to have a reason to do things. So, getting on my bike alone is a hard decision for me to make. I haven't rode my bike a lot in the last year. And I'm suddenly wanting to take some initiative to get back in shape, to at least make a recovery from the surgery. I think I might have overdid it for a few days. But I want to get better, and I want to be more decisive about getting on my bike and riding. I have these medical bills, and I have to, we have to figure out how we're going to pay them. I'm not, like I said, I'm not nervous about that. I'm not scared of it. It's just a matter of like getting down to doing it. You know, it's like I've talked about with my business. The one part that I hate of owning a business is the part where you have to do business stuff. I mean, I just want to create things. I just want to make videos, you know. I just want to create stuff, be creative, and not have to worry about the paperwork, not have to worry about the filing of paperwork and doing business stuff. And I just want to be creative and make stuff. I'm like a kid with a box of crayons who's told to file his crayon coloring status with the federal government and the state government and the county and the city. And all I want to do is color, you know. So to me, all that stuff is a pain. And same thing here with handling the medical bills and stuff. It's just a bunch more paperwork, and I hate paperwork. I hate doing paperwork. So I was just riding down that street back there. You probably heard that guy laughing. That guy's, he sees me, you know, talking to my camera. Most people, they gawk when they see somebody going down the street talking to a camera. But I'm sitting here holding my cell phone. I'm wearing rubber gloves because, as I'm going to point out in the tip video, it helps keep your hands warm when you're outside. If you don't want to wear winter gloves and you don't mind wearing something disposable, these are pretty cool gloves to wear. And I'm wearing an Aloha shirt and khaki shorts and a hoodie and slippers, wool slippers. So I probably look like some kind of circus clown. I can accept that. I can be laughed at. Heck, I make a lot of videos where I try to be laughed at, right? So this shouldn't be too big of a stretch. Again, indecisiveness. So when you get up in the morning, you need to make your first decision. That'd probably be my question today, is what's the first decision you have to make when you get out of bed? I mean, for some of them, it's, for some of you, and sometimes it's me, it's the first decision is to get out of bed. There are times when I don't want to get out of bed. I have to decide to get out of bed. The next decision might be, do I sit down at Facebook or do I read the scripture? Do I sit down and read some Bible and get in His Word? Or do I turn on the radio and listen to some positive, encouraging, safe for the whole family, Christian pop music? Sometimes that's all I do. I don't feel like I get a lot done in those days. Days when I feel like I've had a really good day, probably most of my friends and most of the world, I think, would probably say I wasted my day. But the days that I feel are the most powerful days are days when I sit down, I take time to read the scripture, I meditate on it. If possible, take notes and write down thoughts about how it affects me or how it applies to my particular problem or struggle or happiness even. How does it apply? Sometimes sitting down and looking at the practical application of the scripture that I'm reading helps me to find the power in it. And then, I spend time in prayer throughout that time, and then I would then take and apply it to a day. So I literally would begin to take it and do business, go about my business. Camera slid back again. I would, start making videos, editing videos, and I find that on those days that I spend time in prayer, meditation, and the Word, that the rest of my day goes better. Conflicts that I have, though they do exist, they seem to resolve at least quicker, if not easier, or sometimes easier, if not quicker. And I think I have somebody going around the neighborhood looking for things to pick up, trouble to get into. Let's see. We'll pick up the pace a little bit. Run down the street here. We'll see if he stops at my house. That'd be fun, right? Do you stop at my house when you feel like you just need to rip something off or whatever? Now he turned the corner. He's probably looking for a street that doesn't have a guy talking to a camera. Anyway. There's lots of construction happening at my house. We're having a new garage door, what they call a man door. It's a man door. It's 36 inches wide. It's a regular door for a person. That's why they call it a man door. We took out the big garage door, like what you would normally call a car door, if it were the type of garage that you could actually pull a car into. It's a regular car door that was on this garage, and sure enough, it appears they are preparing this corner house for construction of yet a third house. So what they did was they took out this old house that was here. It was like a single story house, like bungalow type place. Small house, big yard. And they put, so far, 2 townhouses on it, and they seem to have the dirt flattened there to put a third townhouse or a third house or something on the corner. And this neighborhood is becoming completely littered with these kinds of dual townhouse type construction things. And anyway, if you have any prayer requests, please make sure you post them in the comments down below. I'll make sure to pray for you. And if you're going to pray for me, please pray for me to be decisive, and pray for me to spend time in the Word and in prayer, asking for forgiveness, asking for strength, asking for power, asking for more of Jesus. Though the scripture says that we have His full strength inside of us, it can never hurt to ask for more of Jesus. Right? Alright. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.